G'day guys. Part 2 is Paleo against the Torah. I've just been doing some thinking and watching some videos on macrobiotics by Vegan Great Life, formerly known as the Plant-Based Solution. I like their channel, very interesting channel. They talked about basically the centrality of grains, which are involved in cultures, and how the Chinese view grains. And I just thought, wow, isn't that interesting how these things parallel Judaism and Jewish culture? We look at the centrality of the grains and agricultural society and Judaism, and we see that the festivals and the time of the year all correlate to times of the harvesting of grains. We have, there's time, the festivals are actually known by their names as they correlate to the harvest season. Chag HaKatzir, the festival of harvesting. Chag HaAsif, the festival of ingathering, that's Sukkot. So all of these things actually parallel the agricultural cycle, the grain cycle. And today is Tu Beshvat, it's the festival of trees. We're celebrating fruit, so in and of itself. And true, we did bring animal sacrifices in the past at the temple on these festivals. Those sacrifices were consumed by the Kohanim, the priests, and the priests actually had dietary problems as a direct result of that. Even on the 2-week shift, they had to have a special gastroenterologist to deal with their stomach problems. It's documented in the Gemara. I'll bring you a proof for that, a story about that, more in a video on caveats of meat consumption. So we've got the festivals correlate to agricultural cycle, particularly the grain cycle. We've got the fruit festival of Tu Beshvat, which we're celebrating today. So these things kind of fly in the face of Paleo, who view grains as the devil. More on grains. Could you imagine Judaism without bread, without grains? A meal, a festive meal, is not a meal unless you wash and eat bread. Birkat HaMazon, blessing for bread, is a biblical commandment. You shall eat, and you shall be satiated, and then you shall bless. This is contingent on bread consumption. If you're a walrus, just eat sprouted bread. I've got a kid in the background waking up to this. But could you imagine not eating bread? You can't be paleo and then go, well, I'm not going to wash for Sudat Mitzvah for a festive meal. That's garbage. And secondly, could you imagine living without the blessing ala michya, which is for a blessing of the consumption of grains? Grains take precedence in Judaism. Bread is the king of foods, the staff of life. Everything is subservient to bread or subservient to the grains. The 5 grains are wheat, oat, barley, spelt, and rye. And we have the 7 species, again, wheat and barley, and the rest are fruits. So fruit and grains, the core of a healthy vegan diet. Fruit and grains, the core of a healthy Jewish agricultural lifestyle, and it should be the basis of your life too, if you really want to be the healthiest, the most environmental, and the most kind and ethical to the animals and to the planet. You got to go for the grains. You got to go for the fruits. Find the grain that suits you. Is it rice? Is it barley? Is it oats? Is it spelt? Is it all of them? Find what works for you, but definitely say no to paleo. Peace.